if it isn't my dear partners?
That voice! It's Navia!
I didn't expect to run into you guys here today. Are you headed somewhere?
How about you, Navia? Are you still busy rebuilding Poisson?
We've wrapped up most of the rebuilding, but there are still a few things left to take care of. Stocking up on materials, confirming construction timelines, discussing compensation terms with families affected by the disaster. Well, though the victims have received relief payments from the court, our financial situation right now isn't the best. Though just pieces of paper now, they demonstrate our commitment.
Oh, spoken like a true president.
Oh, you bet. Between that and all the other errands I have to run at the court, so before I came over this time, I took a page from Malus's book and decided. And then, since Malus loved using shorthand, I decided to also follow his example and come up with some shorthand of my own. But after running a few errands in the city, I'm kind of struggling to even read my own handwriting anymore.
That does sound like you, all right.
Oh, want to take a look?
Let Paimon see. Wait, there's nothing here but a bunch of weird symbols. This looks like a piece of kelp wrapped around a stick. And
the first one has to do with confirming the final payment amount for the fishermen, while the second one...
Okay, Paimon can definitely see how you might forget what each of these mean.
Thank you for your advice. I thought that as long as I understood my shorthand when I came up with it...
Well, now you know for next time.
Anyway, I should have already taken care of most of the... Worst comes to worst, I'll just make another trip.
Ah, so you're going to head back now?
Yep, that's the plan. You said you don't have any plans, right?
It's a bit sudden, but Paimon doesn't see why...
Then let's go. We'll take a boat over.
Oh, you mean the aquabus, right?
Oh, sorry. I meant our own boat. The aquabus. All right, follow me. The engineer is still doing a few routine safety checks.
So, Paimon has always wanted to ask. The 3 aquabus lines are all named after people in your family, right?
Yeah, that's right. Callus and Navia are self-explanatory, while Clementine was the name that my mother went by.
If you provided the Mora to build the lines, then why isn't there even a dedicated line to Poisson? Spina di Rosula built all the lines, yet you still have to take a special boat just to go home.
Well, what I heard is that most of our businesses don't actually use Poisson as a hub. You are right that it is a bit strange, though.
Yeah, that's what Paimon's saying.
Well, it is what it is. You know what my father was like. Even I often... But that would only be the case if he cared. From what I've heard, the rights of all the other members of the Spina only went as far as giving him advice or
Huh. Well, that explains why you weren't on the greatest of terms with him.
Yeah, because I wouldn't just let him keep getting his way.
Boss, the boat's ready. We can head out.
All right, then let's head out. It'll be a while before we get to Poisson.
Navia, what was your mother like as a person? Oh, Paimon's sorry. She totally forgot that you mentioned before that she passed away during childbirth, so you...
That's all right. I've heard many stories about her from the rest of the Spina. While my papa was stiff like a board, my mother was supposedly super cheerful and funny. Their complementary personalities allowed them to make up for each other's flaws. My father would run the businesses and expand our reach, while my mother would keep the peace and make sure that everyone was happy.
Sounds like they were not just a well-matched couple, but fantastic business partners as well.
Yeah, but those are just stories and anecdotes after all. But sometimes I'd still look at the Clementine line and wonder, would the Spina and Poisson still be what they are today had my Silver once said that a name is a kind of inscription, a way to etch a memory into the world. So I will always associate the line with her in my heart. Over the past few weeks, I've also begun to appreciate how water can take in and hold our most intense feelings and memories. I've lost many beloved people and memories to the sea. The fact won't change that they existed in my life and gave me the reason and motivation to move forward. Of course, I still haven't really gotten used to a life without them. But I tell myself that I need to keep looking towards the future. Besides, I'm the president of Spina di Rosula. We've reached the shore.
Navia, do you think she's doing all right? Okay, Paimon supposes you're right.
Take it easy.
Boss, you're back! Traveler and Paimon, welcome back to Poisson.
Oh, hey! Fancy seeing you again, Florent.
Hey, I can totally take care of myself. We did hand over some of Meluse's old responsibilities to Florent, though.
Thank you for the compliment, boss. As you see, I've been working closely with the boss on rebuilding Poisson. Mr. Meluse was an extremely capable and respected member of the Spina.
All right. There's no need to be so formal. Everyone's practically old friends by now. Were you waiting here for me? Did we manage to make any progress on the statue?
Yeah, we contacted a sculptor about the job, but they can't get started on sourcing a correctly sized block without...
You're commissioning a statue?
So basically, we've been meaning to commission a statue of my parents in commemoration of everything they've done for the Spina and the town of Poisson. But since my father was known as Callus the Unfaithful for the but now that his name has been cleared, and the town is also being rebuilt...
The funds to build the statue were freely donated by the people of Poisson to show...
Me? I'm just the newbie president that's running around and causing everyone trouble. Maybe we can have...
Hey, there's no need to be so humble. Didn't you...
I agree wholeheartedly.
Hey, if you keep inflating my ego like this, Just kidding. There's no way that I'd accept that kind of compliment at face value. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Anyway, Florent.
We can ask the sculptor to start looking for a good block once we've decided on the poses for Miss Clementine and Mr. Callus. But we haven't had any real discussions yet on the possible designs. I feel like I should get a few promising designs first, and...
There's no need for all that. Hey, you! Come over here with me. Modeling a few poses, of course. Here, just pretend to be Callus.
That's...
Didn't you say on the boat that Callus and Clementine sounded like... Florent, let's grab some reference...
You've got it, boss!
Well, what do you think? Got any ideas? Well, I've actually discussed it a bit with Florent before, but I could never come up with any fresh or original ideas. So, I want to pick your brain for a bit, and see if you can come up with some new and interesting ideas.
I'm all good here, boss. Feel free to start posing whenever.
That, do you mean as if we were standing on a boat and looking out at the sea? Sure, let's give that a try.
Whoa, you really remind Look over there!
But there's...
Oh, I see what you mean. Then let's swap.
a fan?
Wait, but we can't do that.
But then, since we're...
Oh, okay. We'll try to think of something else.
Imposing, huh? Oh, I've got it. Let's try this.
This pose!
But isn't Clementine's pose a bit too bold and heroic? If we were to stick with this pose, maybe people would wonder if she was actually the real boss behind the scenes.
Well, tabloids did indeed
Oh, Paimon was just kidding.
What Florent meant was... You're right, though, that this may not accurately represent the image of her in our hearts. Let's try to come up with something else. A happy pose.
Would we even be able to tell what they're...
Yeah, and that'd probably be a massive pain to...
Could one of you... that... We tried a bunch of different ideas, but none of them felt right.
Oh, don't worry. We still got a lot of reference shots out of... Man, if I knew I was Oh, outfits! Oh, that's the errand I forgot back in the... Either of you...
Oh, Paimon remembers her. She was the one that we met while investigating Mr. Callus's case, right?
Yes, that's exactly who I'm talking about. I said that it's fine, but but how could I get her to believe that I meant what I said? But I got so busy and distracted in the city that I forgot to pick the uniform up.
Don't worry, boss. I can send someone to pick it up.
On the matter of the statue, we should still come up with a few more ideas for the design.
We could have just done that from the start. Yeah.
Navia! Florent, guess who's back?
Huh? But...
Oh, well, if it isn't Coulter. Back already from the Fortress of Meripede?
That's right. I finally finished serving my time. After I got out, I immediately made a beeline back to Poisson. You wouldn't believe how much I've missed Melissa's grilled fish.
It's good to have you back, Coulter.
And this guy is...
Let me introduce you. This is Coulter, another of Spina di Rosula's members. But, looking at it now, it was probably another one of Marcel's plots while he...
Wait, Mr. Marcel? What?
Have you not heard anything at all about the water from the primordial sea case?
Well, I know that Fontaine got flooded, but then the water levels miraculously...
Oh, looks like we'll have to explain everything from the top. First things first, let me introduce you to these two.
Oh, nice to meet you. I don't recall Navia ever generously complimenting anyone like that before.
Yeah, we are indeed pretty amazing.
Humble again as always,
Nice. Spina di Rosula always seems to attract great people. Oh, that reminds me. Where am I?
About that.
Coulter, a lot of things happened while you were gone.
They lost their lives, keeping me safe during the flood.
What did you say? This isn't some kind of morbid...
I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
Luce and Melissa. Luce. I was planning to give him a...
Hey!
Malus and Coulter were friends for many years, and even served on many missions together during the early days of the Spina.
Let's sit down somewhere.
Okay. All of this, it's unbelievable.
I think you and I both feel the same way about the profound tragedy of...
I thought Mr. Marcel would always stand by the Spina. It's unconscionable to have received all that.
The good news is that the Confrérie of Cabriere is no more. We finally closed the curtain on that long struggle.
Are you sure? But if Marcel wanted to rebel against us, he...
Romu?
Huh. Not a name I've heard before either.
Florent should remember him. You see, there was once a major internal dispute regarding... Romeu was the leader of the faction that thought such a vast sum of mora would be better. But Mr. Callis believed that an opportunity to collaborate with the court of Fontaine and the Fontaine research, not only would the Aquabus be a good business investment, it would all... But the two couldn't come to an agreement. Romeu ended up...
Ugh. And with Papa's stubbornness, I can definitely imagine how it must have gone down.
And of course, when he was suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous injustice.
Yeah. You could say it was the price he paid for sticking...
Oh, that's a good point.
Oh, yeah. It eventually became a thing that just happened on every day that used to be a lot better with taking counsel. With him listening to our advice, and Ms. Clementine also frequently on our side. But on the matter of the Aquabus, even Ms. Clementine completely stood by Mr. Callis's...
Huh. I never knew. But from my...
I think the Aquabus was just the straw that broke the camel's back. They believed that Miss Clementine lost her ability to serve as an impartial mediator when she became pregnant with Callus's child.
So, they thought she had betrayed them? But that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but to them, even taking a side was betrayal enough. Of course, Ms. Clementine then passed away, and Mr. Callis began to regard the completion of the Aquabus.
So that's what happened.
From that point on, Romeu and his people cut ties with the Spina. Perhaps they've regarded us as enemies ever since they left.
I've also heard that they aren't in a good financial position, so...
Huh. I think Coulter's got a point. Both Marcel and Romeu had my father in their sights for a very long time. Even though Marcel's faction has been dissolved, we still don't know anything about Romeu's whereabouts. With how distracted and vulnerable we are, now would be the best time.
Good thinking, boss. We should keep an eye on them at all times. I'll let my men know right away.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Florent. And Coulter, thank you for telling me about this as well.
Don't worry, it's nothing. Do you have a moment right now? I've heard so many incredulous things today.
Ah, in that case, why don't we go back to the court? I can pick up Adele's uniform while we're there as well. Want to come with me again, you two?
Oh, of course.
Then let's go! Paimon feels like a lot's hinging on this visit.
We really are the best of partners.
Are we not taking the boat this time?
It's nice to walk from time to time, isn't it? Think of it as something like a hiking trip.
Sounds good. I haven't walked this road in a long time.
Take it easy.
Well, we've walked far enough for now. Let's take a break. Since we're out for a walk, we shouldn't stress too much about the destination.
I've grown old, so I'm not...
Well, Paimon thinks you're doing great. We didn't have to slow down for you at all.
Back in the days before the Aquabus lines were built, Malus and I must have traveled this way hundreds of times. When we were tired, we would lay down for a while on the grass. The Spina was still on the rise back then. Mr. Callis was generous, and everyone had the chance to strike it rich. And now, in the blink of an eye, the Aquabus lines have been built, and this road... Oh, I know. I was just being a little nostalgic.
Then let's stay here a bit longer. Anyone want snacks?
Oh, is this another chance to try some of Navia's macarons?
Yep, I figured you wouldn't say no to a few more. Oh, wait. Let me check if I have all the ingredients. Seems like we're all out of flour and sugar. But, oh, would you?
Oh, we should contribute to making the macaron too. Don't worry, we cook out in the wild all the time, so
Oh, that's great. Then I'll leave the ingredient gathering to you. As long as we have some sweet flours and wheat, I can start the baking.
Then I'll go look for some boxes nearby for
Great. Then I'll prep the stove. Ah, how did it go? You've all done your part.
Whoa, these macarons look and taste magnificent!
Boss's baking skills have always been famous.
Oh, it's just a hobby.
Have you two seriously never considered joining us? You're so close to the boss, and she obviously...
You just happened to walk in on our little reunion. Adventurers never stay in one place for long. The name of Spina di Rosula would just tie them down. Besides, after everything we've been through together,
Even if Paimon was far beyond the horizon, she'd still remember the delicious taste of Navia's macaron.
I understand now. I will endeavor to make the most of this short...
We've got no wine with us, but let's...
Cheers! Hey, what are you doing?
May your travels go smoothly. May the Spina continue to... All set? Let's move out then. I asked some old acquaintances in town to make Adele's uniform, so we should be able to pick it up right away.
Take it easy.
Hey there, Ludovine. How's business lately?
Ah, the demoiselle of Spina di Rosula.
Nonsense.
My mistake, my mistake. Are you here for the uniform?
Yep. I forgot to drop by earlier when I was running errands around here.
I didn't expect demoiselle to...
Navia's always liked to take even small things seriously.
Hey, that's not the only reason I'm here. There are few things more uplifting than taking the first step on a new journey.
Boss has got a point.
Very well. Please, wait here while I retrieve...
Can someone remind Paimon again why Adele wants to join the Spina?
She hasn't given me any concrete reasons. After we cleared her father's name, she became a lot more cheerful and outgoing. She said she used to be terrified of Papa. So, as a result, she found all the rest of the Spina super scary as well. But the Spina is very different now. Yeah, you could say that. She said that she wanted to become someone like me.
From the sound of it, she'll be a wonderful addition to the Spina.
I think so too. But for now, let's focus on giving her a great atmosphere to grow and thrive. She can commit to us once she's older, and can really make that decision for herself.
Is something up, Traveler? Huh? Tailing? Oh, Paimon's coming.
I'll go check it out too. Coulter, please hold on to this for me.
All right.
Paimon saw them too. They headed up.
Stop right there!
We knew you were going to be difficult!
Seems like if we want them to...
Brothers, there's no need to skulk in the dark.
instant. One with nature.
Now, talk.
Don't think we'll let you off easy if you keep silent.
How did it go, boss? Are any...
If you thought they stood anyway, stop playing tough and
We were discovered.
get revenge?
You actually know that name? But if you do, then surely you should
Indeed. You have...
We were out drinking when we saw Nav. Too bad you guys messed up ours first. Huh? You're pretty sharp, but seeing you like that just...
Listen, I am the current president. I won't press charges.
I understand.
But if you so much as think about pulling something like this again...
All right. We get it.
Are you sure it's okay to just let them go like that, Navia?
I don't want to inherit my father's grudges. If the other side is willing to talk...
I support boss's decision as well. The concept of an eye for an eye is a...
Yes. Plus, I still think we should keep an eye out for Romeo's folks, though. Then we could still have a fight on our hands.
Yeah, those guys definitely didn't look like big fans of yours.
I'd rather things not go that far.
Yep, that's how I feel as well. It's getting late already. So why don't we stay the night in the Fleuve Cendre? I'll also ask someone to write Florent a letter and inform him of everything that happened here today.
Do we have to stay in the Fleuve Cendre again?
Sorry, that's just what happens when you live near water and don't... We can still go out in the evening for some grilled fish and drinks, though.
Huh. That does sound pretty cool. Coming back here really does feel like this place is If you think about it, it would be kind of weird if the Spina's base at the
Totally. Although, of course, with the continued growth, he was a very ambitious man who rarely looked...
And that's also why people hated it.
All right. Why don't you go... You can use the same room as last time.
Yep. Kinda hard.
Oh, did I...
Oh, I'm sorry. Please have mercy, Navia. If you...
I was just kidding.
Say what you mean. No problem's too big to solve.
Hello? Are you asleep yet? Oh, no, not at all. Wanna go fishing?
Oh, so that's the prep you were talking about.
Hopefully I didn't wake you or anything. I knew it. Okay, let's go.
Fishing when you're using a fully automatic rod.
What's the problem?
But should it...
Well, that's one way to enjoy fishing. What do you think, Traveler? Then, let's try regular rods next time.
Honestly, Paimon's mainly shocked at how...
it might just be something that runs in my family.
That's a thing?
I'm sure you'd get even sleepier if I delved more deeply into it. My father always had a lot of unrealistic expectations for me. But my mother never had those kinds of expectations, though. All the members of the Spina greatly respected her wish. Can you imagine? Whenever my father wanted to scold me for something I'd done, everyone would form up into 2 rows, and no matter what Papa yelled, nobody else would say a word.
Paimon would have never guessed.
Yeah, when I was young. But once, I saw Malus come back wounded. I learned then that there's always a cost to making, because if you do falter... Sorry. Basically, I was just saying that the nurturing atmosphere of the Spina, and if that's the only way that I can continue to feel her love, then I'd like to pass that warmth on.
Is that why you let those guys go today?
Mm-hmm. Although, maybe there's a part of not wanting to repeat the mistake. Hey, look! I think you've got something on the line!
But why isn't there...
Oh, there must be some... We can't let it get away. Come on, you two. Let's...
You want Paimon to help too? You didn't attach a hook to your line?
Stop wasting time! The boss ain't gonna wait all day. We'll go ahead with the operation tomorrow. Do with that information as you wish.
Well, your rod was missing a part too, so I guess that makes it fair.
Well, if we're just talking about the number of missing parts, sure.
All right. Go. See you tomorrow. So how was last night?
Paimon dreamt that she danced with the sea stars.
Huh.
I didn't know you had such a great sense.
See? This guy gets it.
Anyway, let's head out.
Paimon hopes she'll really...
I hope so too. Adele, we're back! We brought you a gift from the court, too.
Whoa! Thank you so much, boss!
Don't call her boss, okay, Adele?
Oh, it's all right.
It's been a while!
Oh, it's you two. It has been a while indeed. I've heard that you also helped save all of Fontaine.
You're really amazing! And if Miss Navi is your friend, then she must be super amazing too! What's in this thing?
Of course.
Oh, it's a Spina...
Well, it's a gift for future you. When you first told me that you were interested in joining the Spina, I was overjoyed. But it's the Spina's responsibility to protect everyone as well. So I turned you down then by telling you that you'll have to wait until you're older.
Oh, so that's it!
But you can't really grow up faster by working hard.
Everyone, I'm really grateful. Thanks to the protection of the Spina.
Oh, it's the least we could do. As long as you live in Poisson, even...
Boss!
Huh? Is something up, Florent?
I've got something urgent to report.
What? Explosives? What do they want?
It seems like they've been planning this for some time. We started investigating it, but Romeu and his folks must have... We investigated their tracks and found...
Could they have smartened up since we caught them red-handed at the court?
Seems like they've got no interest in sitting down and talk.
Sorry, I underestimated this.
On the hill to the east of Poisson, near the Clementine.
They want to blow up the Clementine line?
Certainly sounds like it.
Romeo and his followers hate the Spina, and if they manage to blow up the Aquabus line...
Are they insane? There's time.
Yeah. If they've been planning, we have to issue an evacuation order.
Let's get everyone onto our...
My dear partner, can I leave the Clementine line to you? If the explosives do go off, not only would the people of Poisson be in danger... Let's stop their insanity first. Then settle the score with them.
Leave it to us, Navia. Please stay safe, too.
Let's go, you two. We've got to act fast. Miss Coralie, please take Adele to the ship.
Watch out, boss! What do you think you're doing, Coulter?
I thought all the annoying little hindrances had left.
You mean... Oh. I get it now. You knew about their plans all along.
Not quite. And that's because out of the entire...
You better stick close to me.
Romeo promised me that he would leave Poisson alone, but it was like you were glued at the hip. Romeo has lost his patience.
Why?
Only someone as clueless about the... You never saw the heyday of Spina di Rosula, but I saw it all with my own eyes. And it was all because Clementine died because of you.
So the shock and grief you showed us before...
Now you're catching on. I heard Malus was... Did you know? Down there in that blasted fortress, I spent a long time back then because of that aquabus. We had a huge... The years passed by in a blur after. But then he died. And it was because of you again, Navia. It's always because of you. I once loved the Spina and...
Don't listen to him, boss!
Have you ever considered that? Have you ever considered that? Maybe you only... Have you ever considered that? Maybe
Because if you do falter, there'll inevitably come a time when you'll... But... Is that really...
Shut your mouth! I don't know how to explain it.
I'm sure, Mr. Maluk, you've somehow managed to pin the...
Get out of the way, Flo!
You're gonna have to, boss. There's no time for this.
Maybe you think you're being, but the love that I felt from everyone was... And even now, I will continue...
Hiya! Coming at ya!
Hey there! Fire! Well, with rocks. Hey there! Laurent, I'll leave the town to you. Summon the other members and help with the evacuation of the townspeople. If you find any of Coulter's accomplices, I can't allow my partner to face the danger on the Clementine line.
Got it, boss. I'm on it. Are you okay, Navia?
I don't know, but I have to go.
Let's hurry up there. We have to protect the Clementine line. If they're gonna blow up the waterway, they must have planted the explosives next to the support pillars.
Quietly now. Into the wind. Busted.
He certainly brought a lot of muscle.
over.
One with nature.
These must be the explosives, right? And this is the control mechanism. Oh, Paimon's too scared to touch any of this stuff. Huh? There's a strangely shaped hole here. What is it for? Oh, that certainly sounds possible. Okay, you take this side, Paimon will take the other. Let's... Let me turn this guy over. Ugh, he's super heavy. Oh, you found it! That's amazing! That should do it, right? Navi and Florent should be able to relax. Oh, you're right. They're gonna bury Poisson!
Great work, partner. Just leave the rest to me.
Watch out, Navia! You can't block them all!
Block. I'm doing this the Spina way.
I heard from Thierry that even they're your enemies now. They were once a part of Spina di Risula.
I have nothing more to say to them. Regardless of whether their hatred and anger towards me or the Spina was justified, please prosecute them in accordance to the law.
Sounds good. We're very appreciative of your help. Without it, the consequences would have been All right, this operation is a wrap. Take him away.
We won, Navia! We saved everyone!
Yeah. Luckily, we were just in time. It's probably because I expended...
But you usually glow up whenever other people compliment you.
Boss, we managed to catch all the infiltrators in the... Seems like Romeo really went all in on this mission.
Got it. Coulter, I can understand how you feel. I am not callous, and I will also never, but I will not change how I feel about our future. I will spend more of what the Spina earns on the betterment of so that one day...
I know what you're trying to say. Mr. Callus, there are too many things in life that...
Henceforth, you are no longer a but once you're discharged from the
Thank you, Navia.
As I thought.
She is also... Thank you for protecting the Clementine line. I was actually really scared, you know. I mean, even the Callus line won't be getting rebuilt anytime soon. If I'd lost the Clementine line too, a name is a way to etch a memory onto the world. losing the line that bears her name, that I can see every day. Seeing it still standing there, tall.
What happened while we were gone?
Just give her some time.
Thank you so much. Traveler, I want to ask you something. And please, tell me the truth. Do you really see me as your partner?
Of course.
That's good then. Hearing that, it brings me more relief than I can say.
How do you feel, Navia?
I feel quite a bit better. But I should probably... Sorry, partner. I said some weird things earlier. I used to think that I'd never doubt myself. Coulter mentioned my parents. Do you think... they...
Don't think like that, Navia. You've already done more than enough. No matter what others think, we'll always support you to the end of the world.
Well, since it's ended up, there's something that I've been keeping from you as well. But
Florent, I hope you can understand that...
don't worry. This surprise will be a pleasant one.
Take it easy.
Why is everyone gathered here? And what's...
This was supposed to be a gift to you from everyone in the town. We were originally planning to show it to you once it was finished, but special times call for special measures.
Do I really look that bad?
Well, if you're ready, I'll unveil the present.
This is... Papa, Mother, and me.
We designed the look for Miss Clementine based on old camera records, as well as personal recollections from members of the Spina.
Wow.
It is indeed. To be honest, we decided on the design a long time ago, and we only asked Boss to decide on a design so she wouldn't realize we had already started.
How could we only have statues of Mr. Callis and Mrs. Clementine?
Even though Boss is still young,
we wanted to commemorate her contributions with a statue as well.
I don't know what Spina di Rosula was like in the past, but I know it's a great organization now.
With Navia around, we're not worried about...
We're gathered here today to tell our boss that we support you and believe in you wholeheartedly.
That's what we believe as well.
Thank you so much, everyone. This really is quite the surprise. I never thought that I'd have the chance to stand next to my mother. Not... Seems like I started to question myself a bit too much. I'll pick myself up again and become a more reliable president for all of you. Looking back on it, I am honestly embarrassed by how I acted earlier. I'm sure everyone longs for that one thing in life that seems trivial to others. But to me, that would be a family portrait. I've never thought I'd receive a family portrait of my own. It seems like, looking back on it, I've thought about it before. Though my mother even though my parents had very different personalities, the Aquabus project was a monumental project. I think that's probably why she didn't step in to mediate. It seems like looking back on it, whoa. Why'd you have to remind me? Oh, forget it now. Please forget that I ever said anything. Oh, wait. But it'd also be bad if you were. Okay, but please keep it a secret between us from now on.
Seems like there's another event going on at the Court of Fontaine! Look at that! Roads!
Is this really okay? I told you I could do it using the leftover funds from the original deposit. No, not at all. I'm just in shock, that's all. It's always been my dream.
Wait, isn't that Chiori? Oh, you've got a point.
I'm a woman of my word. If I say I can do something, then it'll be done. Now, remember to not fold the gown, or store it under direct sunlight. I'd recommend only taking it out on the day.
Oh, I'll try my best. Once he sees me in this, his jaw is gonna drop straight to the floor.
Chiori, you're actually at your shop today!
Is that really so shocking? It is mine, after all. Anything you're looking for today? A custom design, or...
Hey, Paimon's not a kid!
Oh. That. Well, if news of the event has reached...
Are there any fun and popular activities that we can take part in?
Ugh, Fashion Week isn't what I'd call...
Will you be showing off some of your designs too?
Of course. All designers at the Court of Fontaine use the week. Come to think of it, it was also at a previous Fashion Week that our label first took off.
Aren't you pretty much an established name now?
Yeah, that's not quite how it works. While many people buy clothes for fit, why would anyone patronize a label that hasn't even bothered to put out any new designs for the year? In the end, fashion is just a representation of this.
Okay, so all that complicated stuff.
Absolutely. The designs have already been finalized. I'm just waiting for the fabrics to arrive.
Ooh, are you using the...
Well, I still have a certain partiality to Inazuma-made fabrics.
Oh, Paimon gets it!
Ugh, something like that.
We're a long way from Inazuma, though. Aren't you
No need to worry. I've already taken steps to ensure that it'll arrive safe.
Excuse me! Coming through! Coming through! Chiori, your shipment's here. I know it's quite late, so I'm... really...
Deep breaths, Kirara.
Oh, so Kirara's the courier you were talking about.
Oh, hey, Traveler and Paimon. Fancy seeing you here in Fontaine. Wait a second. This is the second time that you've...
So, what was the holdup?
Huh? No, nothing like that. I just ran into a bit of trouble, that's all.
Bandits, then? Or treasure hoarders?
Well, I didn't run into...
Keeping you honest as always, I see.
Alright. I was stopped by a group of... They were a little different from the ones I used.
So it was a targeted hit?
I got the sense that they were actually targeting Chiori's goods.
My fabric shipment?
Yeah, they said that I could go as long as I left the goods with them. Otherwise, they'd stuff me into my delivery.
Oh, are you okay?
I'm good. I'm still a yokai after all.
Well, It's not completely out of the ordinary for one of. Is there something else that you're keeping from me?
Huh?
Perhaps I.
You always know how to get me, Chiori. So, I kinda wanted to know why anyone would order a hit on me. So, one of the bandits had a loose tongue, which saved me some time. He said that a certain person had commissioned them to intercept Chioria Boutique's delivery.
And who might this person be?
Chiori, why don't we—
I appreciate your kindness, Q. Anyone that dares to mess with one of my friends.
Alright. The guy said that the commissioner was someone by the name of Uter.
Uter? No, that—
Well, that's exactly why I didn't want to bring it up to you.
So you both know this Uter guy?
Through Chiori's complaints about him, sure. He's a fellow fashion designer who's made it his—
So he's like—
A rival is what you call someone who fights you fair and square. Uter, however, just has it out for me as a designer. I've already warned him before to compete with me fair and square.
Wait, Chiori, where are you going?
To teach someone a lesson. You must be tired after your long journey.
Chiori!
And she's gone.
Oh no.
You seem concerned.
Well, she's always been the type of person to face things. Traveler, Paimon, could you go after her and check out the situation for me?
Yeah, we'll take good care of Chiori.
To be honest, I'm more worried about that Uter guy's safety.
Any chance you're on the clock, officer?
Nothing good ever comes out of you addressing me like that. Oh? And who are these two?
So you came too? Allow me to introduce you.
The Special Security and Surveillance Patrol?
Well, I wouldn't say everyone on the patrol uses a musket.
Whoa, Chiori, Paimon didn't know you went so far back with such a cool person!
It's nothing. In my line of work, it's not uncommon. In return, I've helped her take care of some things that you could say aren't exactly—
It's nice to meet you both. So, did something happen?
Indeed it did. I'll need you to come with me.
I only ever hear that phrase from you.
Well, are you coming?
Not before I know what you're planning.
Have I ever made a bad call?
The better question is...
Okay. A man hired a group of bandits to mug my friend.
Are you sure this is something you should be telling the captain of the Special Patrol?
Neither. I'm requesting personal supervision.
Are you planning to?
Not if I can help it.
All right. Where is this person?
Follow me.
Just promise you'll start trying to keep yourself out of trouble.
Well, when trouble stops coming my way, I'll be sure to get on that. This should be the place. You all—
You know, Chevraz, Paimon gets the sense that you two are actually pretty close.
It's just as Chiori said. We got to know each other pretty well in our lines of work.
Does Chiori often need your help?
I'd say it's mutual. The uniform, the musket, they're intimidating. Most people but put them in a clothing boutique, and they suddenly start gushing faster than the waters at the Fountain of Luce.
Oh, is it because they're trying to show off or something?
Yep. People are vain creatures. They can't help but want to talk. As a result, Chiori often picks up on all kinds of information.
You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours.
Exactly. I'm also here to ensure Chiori's safety. Those who make trouble for her, and in some very rare cases, I'm forced to protect other people from Chiori herself. So, who got on her case this time?
Oh, so this is what happened.
Uter, you say?
You've heard of him?
Yep. He's made trouble for Chiori several times already. So he's back at it, huh?
Whoa, what's this about a funeral?
I just meant that Uter's done for. Now bring it in, you two. Get right up
Sure.
because this is probably going to turn into one of those
What are you doing? Stay away from me!
Has anyone ever taught you the definition of stupidity?
Huh?
Stupidity is doing the same meaningless thing over, and it appears you've forgotten what I told you before. Oh, and if you dare lay your hands on my friend again, you can expect a far less pleasant landing next time.
Chiori?
Officer.
Of course. I'll do my utmost to investigate the situation. Not to worry, though. If you'd allow me to search the scene, I'm sure I'll be able to collect some useful evidence. Ms. Chiori, I must also ask you to refrain from engaging in such disorderly conduct in the future.
Apologies, officer. I guess you could say...
Is there anything else either of you have to say?
That's all from me. I sincerely hope that...
We'll see about that.
Whoa, that scared the heck out of Paimon!
You're too kind.
Now's not the time to be accepting compliments.
Oh, not if I could help it. I started with a verbal warning, but he displayed neither shame nor...
Insults and threats so bad that he deserved to be tossed out like a sack of trash?
Believe it or not, they were that bad. He deserved...
You could have reported him to the guards.
Oh, I will. But it'll take some time for them to get... I don't want anything else to happen during Fontaine Fashion Week. On top of that, if... Oh, that reminds me. There...
What a shame.
Have I? Well, it's a good thing I was planning on taking an advance on...
Don't you think you're maxed out on advances?
I always pay you back in information, don't I? It's just like you said.
Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby. Being skilled at something doesn't make it a hobby.
Take it easy. We're back.
You were gone for an awfully long time.
There's nothing to worry about.
Sorry, Chiori.
What are you talking about? You didn't do anything wrong. The next time you need to leave the city, call the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. They'll escort you half of the way. With that sort of escort, the next time you make a delivery, those treasure hoarders won't go anywhere near your goods. I'm being serious. You know me. If I bring something up, you can assume it's already a done deal.
Wait, you don't mean...
I've already spoken to the captain of the Special Patrol. As discussed, the patrol's going to take a small detour during their daily training.
There's really no need. I'm just a simple courier. I don't need to be surrounded by a bunch of armed guards.
Well, you certainly shouldn't count on such a procession for every trip you make to Fontaine. It'll also show those guys what'll happen to those who dare to mess with my friends.
Well, if you think it's a good idea, Traveler, then...
Well, with the bad guys out of the way and your goods safely delivered, everything should be...
I believe so. I'll try to churn out a few more outfits over the next few days.
Paimon's gonna take a guess and say...
But of course, They supply us designers with funding, equipment, factory access. That's also why this year's Fashion Week is so important to me.
But isn't your brand already really famous, Chiori?
Even so, I would imagine there are still people who've never heard of the Chioria brand.
Well, I mean, with the amount of places that I delivered,
Then it's still not famous enough.
All of it? Your business would have to get pretty huge then.
wait, would that mean I could just go to any Chioria branch on the continent to get my clothes fixed?
Alternatively, of course, you could just be a bit more careful with them.
Okay, I'll admit,
Well, if that's your dream, Chiori, then we should do our best to make it a reality.
I'm sure I could think of some.
Oh, what is it?
Why don't you come to my shop tomorrow and model for me?
Oh, so we get to try on some of your clothes.
Seeing them off the rack will also give me the chance to make some.
Sounds easy enough.
No need. We've already booked them on. If you like them, though.
Ooh, sounds great!
Then we have a deal. You'll model some for.
Yep, sounds good. Wait, kids' clothes? Paimon told you already, she's not a little kid.
Speaking of clothes.
well,
Oh. Need a bit of letting out around the.
no! It's a tear. Those bad guys did it.
Chiori, we're here!
You're here early. I haven't even opened the shop yet.
Wait, has Kirara left already?
Yep, with the special patrol. Bright and early.
Did everything go all right on the road?
I believe so. The patrol makes for quite the entourage. The way they marched forward with Kirara in the center, you'd think she was some sort of VIP. For the second leg, the Spina also came with a pretty large group, led by Navia herself. They took care to clear the path beforehand as well. Kirara won't so much as step on a single stray rock on her journey. I even heard that Navia decided out of the blue to make a batch of macarons as a going-away gift for Kirara.
Sounds like Navia really got into it.
My thoughts exactly. She even lamented the fact that she didn't.
You know, now that you mention Navia, Paimon thinks the two of you are actually pretty similar.
I suppose that's why we're such good friends. Navia has a certain resilience about her. It's part of who she is. That same spirit is the true vision of my brand. When she first mentioned commissioning an outfit from my boutique.
It's like finding the perfect brand ambassador, huh?
Indeed. Customers pay attention not just to the clothes, but also.
Huh. And here Paimon thought all that mattered.
Fashion is about more than just looks, my dear. Well.
Oh yeah, come on.
Indeed. Give me a moment while I go retrieve some fabrics and
Set them up.
just carefully organize the ready-to-wear clothes with an eye toward their types and styles.
Whoa, they're sure.
Well then, I'll leave the displays to you.
So, we just need to put all the clothes with similar styles together, right?
Not bad. You might just have an eye for design. Anyway, over here, stand still. I'll take your measurements first.
Excuse me, Miss Chiori.
Oh, good morning, Leanne. How have you been recently?
Not too.
Your gown will be ready next week, so there's no need to worry about missing the ball.
Oh, no. Nothing like that, Miss Chiori.
Cancel your.
But you can keep the deposit, of course. I know you can't return any materials you've already used.
Don't worry about the materials. It's all right. I'm not trying to make things difficult.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it. Just let me know if there's anything I can do to help.
Is it just Paimon, or was she acting a bit strange just now?
It's not a big deal. These things happen every once in a while. A family emergency, an important payday falling through, a lover's quarrel. No one. Judging from the look on her face, something's keeping her from...
Well, guess this means you'll have more time to work on that.
That's true.
Is Miss Chiori in?
I am. How can I help you?
I'd like to return this item.
Oh. Could I ask why?
It's just, not to my liking.
Is there something about it that didn't meet your...
No, no need. You...
And I'd be happy to process that for you.
Is Chiori here? I'd like...
Another one?
Is there some sort of new calamity coming that I haven't heard about? Surely the entire population...
What kind of rags are you trying to sell us, huh? The way I see it...
Please calm down, sir.
What is he talking about?
Haven't you heard? Chiori...
And just who is it?
Well, you tell us?
I've been transparent about my material. If a little hearsay and baseless slander are enough to convince you...
You...
Elof!
Miss Chiori?
Go outside and help these customers with their return requests. There's no... And once you're done, put up the sign that says we're...
Got it.
Chiori...
They couldn't be more fabricated if you tried. The real goal here is to divert my attention away from fashion.
If you say so.
The best way to respond to public skepticism?
Miss Chiori, bad news!
Oh, for the love of...
It's our accessories supplier. They just sent...
What? No accessories? Not even...
Yes, that's...
And what about the models we have?
I think...
Even the suppliers believe...
Is the messenger still here?
No, they've already left.
So, no accessories...
Not just that. It means no gem.
But if you take...
Elof, you stay and watch the shop. I'll go talk...
Yeah, and we can vouch for you too!
Thank you. In that case, please come with me.
Did you read the paper today?
Take it easy. Take it.
By the way, we really are just going to talk, right?
Who is it?
Venger, it's Chiori. We've worked together all these years. And when has following convention ever gotten me anywhere? I don't like to waste my time on baseless lies and speculation.
You're right.
So...
No, not at...
Well then, there you go. Those sort of headlines become old news.
Someone paid off the tabloids to publish the same...
Every how?
It seems your rival really pulled out...
What sort of...
a photo of...
Yesterday?
Ucher again.
Here, I've got a copy. See for yourselves.
Behind the scenes, the truth relying on its close ties to the criminal underworld.
I don't know what happened, and I don't want to comment on things that I didn't see with my own eyes. Still, that photo shows you...
Yeah, he was the...
I appreciate you standing up for me, Paimon.
That's right. The court of public opinion has already made up its mind.
But that was so long ago.
In the world of fashion, your past is... They claim that most of your clientele...
The absurdity.
Well, maybe your clientele are criminals. Maybe, but with the way this article combines fact...
Venger, are you sure?
But I'm no longer that... I'd be perfectly happy to work with you again after this.
I... understand.
Let me offer you a piece of advice, Chiori.
You're free to wait things out, then. Have you ever thought maybe this attitude of mine is precisely what paid?
Fair enough. Then, I suppose all there's left is...
Understood.
So, what?
Without the accessories,
How could they do this?
Public opinion has never... I should have seen it from the beginning. Who
Well, guess all we can do is just head back for now.
Traveler! Paimon!
Charlotte, what are you doing here?
Looking for you, of course. Did you see those fashion tabloids this morning?
You mean that sorry...
You too, huh? Whoever wrote that article must have known the Steambird would never print something. Miss Chiori doesn't deserve to suffer all this big...
That's great!
It's my pleasure. I've met Miss Chiori. She was the one who made the hat and tie for my camera. Monsieur, speaking of Miss Chiori...
She was just...
If you ask me, I think Chiori Boutique is done for.
I mean, what did they expect? Engaging with criminals behind their customers' back.
They kept up a solid front, though. I've even bought from them before.
Really? How was it?
The owner was plenty fierce, that's for sure.
Oh no, we've lost... Did you hear what all...
Miss Chiori doesn't often appear in public or give a lot of interviews. It's also true that her way of...
this is all... Wait a second.
That would only make the situation worse.
You've got a point. Elaf, we're back! Oh, who's this?
This is Miss Letitia.
Oh, you were the one who came to collect the...
Oh, no, not at all. I'm just here to thank her.
So you've come across...
Yeah, you probably don't know this.
Why?
My fiancé owns a small business. It doesn't bring in a lot of... He probably noticed how often I talked about Miss Chiori.
And then?
And then, something happened to the business. And we ran into...
But didn't Chiori say she was able to make the dress from what...
Yes. When I came to cancel the order, she heard me out, and then told me not to worry.
Well, that's a good thing, isn't it?
It is good. It's just... After I went...
What?
Well, see, he's seen a lot of wedding dresses in his time doing business. So as soon as he saw it, he knew for sure that it must have...
Huh? So...
Yeah. Miss Chiori
Oh. Miss Letitia, I'd really like to use...
Huh? Well...
I think it'd go a long way.
Hey, Olaf!
Huh? I thought...
Well, we were...
Oh, I remember now. In that case, why don't we split up? I'll continue interviewing Miss Letitia, and you...
All right, sounds good. Let's... Chiori?
How did you...
She did. We were just looking for you at the shop and Letitia was there.
I'm not upset. Wanna sit here with me? The view's quite stunning. Sorry about that.
All right, don't mind if we do.
Well, how does it feel?
This place is pretty great.
Right? It's quiet and open.
Yeah, it's important to take yourself out of that kind of stressful environment.
I didn't grow up in a very strict family. My parents would joke that I would get together with the other children to climb trees and explore caves.
Whoa.
But even as rambunctious as I was, when it came to needlework, I was as quiet and focused as could be. It was as if I discovered a whole new world within those My parents noticed, and they sent me to study under a famous Inazuman tale.
You were that misbehaved?
I wasn't misbehaved, exactly. I just often had strange ideas when it came to fashion. Ones that weren't in line with traditional. On top of that, I hate... Anyway, a few incidents later...
No wonder you left Inazuma.
I was angry and frustrated. So, before...
Well, that's a great dream to strive toward.
After that, I came all the way to the court of Fontaine. I had a lot of fun starting out. Sure, I had a far more naive view of fashion back then. As long as something was pretty, it would become popular, right? Of course. As I spent more and more time in the industry, I learned nothing was ever that. Oh, you mean Letitia? Yeah, she did mention that dream. Who would have thought? Even as I continue to pursue my dream. Alright, that's enough sightseeing for one.
Ooh, looks like you've got your game face back.
Back? It was never gone to begin with.
Paimon thinks we should look for evidence that Uter wrote. Charlotte's already working on an article to address all those nasty rumors.
I don't like duking it out in the press. I know where Uter's clothing factory is located.
Sounds good. Welcome. As for Fashion Week...
Huh? When did this become an either-or?
But you're...
Well, it's true that I haven't quite figured out what to do about that, but to tell you the truth, even here in thinking about all that,
What?
The sea. Seashells, coral. I've got it.
Got what?
Come, let's take a dip, shall we?
Chiori!
It's raining again? This isn't good. If the rain washes away the traces, it's gonna set us back a long way.
Chiori, why did you just jump into the sea all of a sudden?
Paimon, what do you think is the most beautiful thing in the sea?
A Lumitoile? Or a pearl, maybe? Oh, coral's pretty too. Ah, Paimon gets it now! You want to use things like that as the accessories for your designs!
Well, now that you hit the nail on the head, help me grab some, would you?
Leave it to us! Enough, right? Paimon picked all the prettiest ones in this area. Chiori, will these do? Great! So are we...
Yes, but don't forget. Okay, we've got the materials for the accessories.
You mean we have to start from...
I should be able to make it, if I skip out on sleep.
Oh no, skipping out on sleep is not the answer. Wait, how come this conversation is giving Paimon major deja?
Ganyu?
A friend of ours who does way too much overtime? Well, anyway, sleep is important. You're not gonna convince Paimon.
Well, I can't argue with you there. All this grit and determination.
What else can we help with?
Let me see. I suppose all there's left to do is...
You got it! Wait, what did you just say?
You heard me. Tear them all up. When I went to that first fashion week, I had to make something work, so I tore up all the clothes that I brought with me from me. If it worked back then, why not now? We can also...
But you worked so...
I know. That's why I refuse to let... No need to be nervous. I won't hold it against you. Of course, if anyone dared to tear up one of my dresses in front of me on... Just this once, though. I think I can make an exception. Go ahead and tear them up. Think of it as a good way to vent your emotions. Good job. That should do it.
Chiori, are you all right? Sorry for taking so long. I got caught up and... Whoa. What happened to your shop? Who did this? Give me their names. Since they're all too eager to tear up other people's clothes, I think it's about time this...
Maybe you should calm down a bit first, cause you see,
huh?
Ugh, what is this, a soap opera? I was the one who asked the traveler to tear up the outfits.
Oh, so that...
Navia sure is scary when she's angry.
If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a false accusation.
You and Chiori are really close.
Of course. Everyone knows that Chiori makes the most gorgeous outfits in town.
Now, if only you'd give me the contract for your uniforms as well.
As if you'd enjoy designing something as boring and formulaic as a uniform. Plus, with how much you're into...
If I had it my way, it would be the other way around.
Anyway,
if it's not too much trouble, can I borrow some skilled hands to help with some simple sewing?
Oh, no problem. I've got a few of those guys all ready to go. When are you going to get started?
Actually...
Ask away.
Oh, and Traveler and Paimon, could you help me pass word to Linny and Lynette?
I'm done with my interview. Has Miss Chiori made it back yet? Oh! What happened to the boutique? Who did this? Give me names. I'll make sure every last one lands a full feature on the front page of the Steambird tomorrow.
Not this again.
What should we do about these clothes,
Sort them by the type of fabric first, and then by color.
That sounds pretty straightforward. I'll help too.
You're both here!
A moment later and you'd have missed us.
We read the article in the papers. She helped design a number of our costumes in the past and even sponsored one of our performances.
Oh, perfect! She was the one who sent us!
In that case, I assume that there's something we can do to...
Okay, so it's like this.
Is that all we'll need to do?
Should be a piece of cake for the two of us.
Paimon's glad to hear it! Well then, guess it's about time we go and find some evidence for all the bad stuff Utera's been doing, right? Chiori said we shouldn't disturb her over the next couple of days. We can check in with her again once she's done with all the new designs.
But the show's in another 2 days, isn't it?
Well, according to her, she wants to first beat Utera fair and square at the show.
A two-pronged approach?
Courtesy first, confrontation second?
Yeah, something like that.
Understood. Then we'll have faith in her decision.
All right, we're counting on you. Okay, then let's also do a show. Oh, Paimon sure hopes she won't have a hard time making all those new outfits for the show.
You're here.
Chiori! How are the new outfits coming?
Just a few steps left now. I've handed the rest over to Olaf.
Wow, that's cutting it real close.
Don't worry. I have no intention of giving ground on either front. With the fashion show scheduled for...
Okay, Paimon totally gets that this is...
His factory is usually open to the public. We're just curious customers after all.
Well,
Anyway, Uther's factory is right over there.
Why would he open a factory over there?
We have different marketing strategies. While I specialize in hunt.
All right.
You make a good point.
We're in. There really is nobody here.
Welcome, dear visitors.
Oh, Paimon nearly fell out of the air. What is that thing?
A mechanical guide. They usually use a recorded tape to give you a tour of the factory.
Please, follow me, dear guests. First stop on our tour is a look at the gradual evolution of our clothing brand. After that, we welcome you to peruse our most popular styles.
Huh. Uther seems to be doing pretty well for himself, doesn't he? Why would he feel the need to bother you when he could just focus on improving his own brand?
This is the studio where our designs are made. Please, take a look around at your leisure. These are the fitting rooms. Please use them at your leisure.
Huh? There seems to be something in this fitting room. Why did the door just close?
Hold on tight, Paimon.
Why is it moving?
It seems to have stopped.
Where did this thing take us?
It seems like we're someplace deeper inside the factory.
Look out! There are guards here!
Hey, what gives?
Things are about to get dicey. Wind strike.
This place is filthy! Are the clothes from Uther's shop seriously made here?
Look over there.
Ugh. That was...
And I was the one using unsafe material.
So he was actually the one who opened an underground factory.
No wonder his clothes always felt weird to the touch. He's been using all manner of tricks here in a bid to cut costs.
Should the clothes made here even be worn?
Never mind issues with shrinking and fading. These—
That's terrifying! This way he won't be able to try and deny anything in court. Huh? Doesn't look like there's a path here.
Follow me. Let's go up.
This place seems like some kind of warehouse. Huh? What's going on? Our way in's been blocked!
Seems like he knew we'd be coming.
You did say he knew you really well, didn't you?
Yes. And that's because
But you're practically—
when I first came to Fontaine, we were both fledgling designers who longed to gain a foothold in the world of fashion. In the beginning, we both wanted to make clothes that would stand out from the crowd, but with every criticism we received, finally, right before Fashion Week, he came to the conclusion, for my part, I gambled it all and devoted—
You received the acclaim of all Fontaine while—
I don't know the exact details of what happened after that.
He's just jealous of what you've accomplished.
Well, let's focus on getting out of here first. Missing the show is as good as letting him win.
There are some control panels over there. Oh, that doesn't seem to have done anything. Maybe track— that didn't do anything either.
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Is that all?
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
Look over there. Seems like there's a way out. Maybe we can use these mechanisms to get higher.
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders entering expulsion mode.
We finally made it out. Why does it feel like the movement patterns of those mechs have changed?
Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure. Warning. Warning. Unauthorized intruders initiating shutdown procedure.
entrance, at last.
Oh, those chambers couldn't hold you, I see.
We've collected a bunch of evidence on all the...
The evidence on your person, you mean? Well,
More mechanical guards? Really?
oh, but this...
What? Destroy...
Proving that fashion is...
You know what your problem is, Uter?
Spare me the lecture, why don't...
Fashion is about aspiring towards a...
Well, once the people witness their former darling's spectacular fall...
That's what you've been trying to prove all this time? You weren't like this before.
He realized long ago how utterly naive...
You gave up on your dream. But that wasn't enough, was it? You think you understand. This whole thing...
Pathetic. Why don't you take a look in...
You're right. Maybe all, but more pitiful still are cows.
You...
Yeah, just leave this guy to us!
No, you go instead.
But he has...
It'll be fine. Just go to the venue until I'll deal with him. Some lessons.
Catch up with us soon!
Trying to leave, are we?
I've held back all this time because of our past partnership, Uter. But all that changed after our tour of your no matter what you've been through, if I may borrow the words of a friend, allow me to show you.
The Chioria brand represents more than a person or a trademark. It's a way of life. Greetings, friends at Fontaine Fashion Week. Please feast your eyes on the extravaganza that Chioria Boutique has prepared for you today. Brilliant, dazzling, and wholly unique. And most importantly, an enduring, never-say-die spirit. That's the true meaning of the Chioria brand. And now, let's welcome the thundering seamstress, Miss Chiori herself!
Did Chiori not...
Lights! Cameras! Over here, please!
Let the show begin!
The world may change, fashion along with it, but Chioria will remain the same. No challenge is too great. Chioria caters to no one. Not even the times. Rather, Chioria will always lead the fashion of our time. Finally, let's not forget. Only those who do not give up on their dreams are worthy of this brand. Well then, I suppose all that's left to say is, Happy Fashion Week, fellow dreamers.
How about this?
A little more to the left.
Like this?
Perfect.
Phew. Oh, that looks great! Miss Chiori, can I take a picture?
Of course.
I didn't know you'd make a brand new signboard.
I made it before Fashion Week.
Well, how can you become renowned through all of Teyvat?
Now that you mention it, perhaps our magic troupe could use one of those.
Our signatures are the Grinmalkin cat and the Bogglecat box.
Oh, and we need to add Pear as well.
Pear would need an alias, of course.
So, does that mean your signboard is going to be 2 cats and a penguin stuffed?
Ooh, that sounds super snuggly and warm.
And a bit cramped.
Miss Chiori, I'm done taking pictures. You can expect the article in tomorrow's Steambird, along—
Thank you, Charlotte.
It's my pleasure. Bringing the truth to light is a journalist's duty.
Going forward, feel free to custom order any accessories you need for Monsieur Verite. It's—
Huh? You really mean it?
Of course. The same goes for you too.
What about something other than a costume?
Thank you, Chiori. It's
Well, I don't really need anything. Just don't be a stranger, all right?
I don't need anything either. So long as you continue to request my international courier services from Komania Express, we're going—
Actually, that reminds me.
Huh? About that.
The Spina di Rosula has prepared a special vehicle for you, so you can just get in and we'll push it all the way out of Fontaine.
What? No, that's so embarrassing.
Ooh, do we get something nice too, Chiori?
Of course. Just hold on a second.
Disrupting public order at the show. Appropriating venue lighting equipment without authorization. Using weaponry in public. Hosting a dangerous performance without notifying the authorities.
Chevrolet, we can explain.
If you come across anyone who matches those descriptions, please report them to the Special Patrol at your—
Enjoyed that, didn't you? You nearly—
Says the one who pulled that stunt earlier. How about you do me a favor and tell me in advance next time you're planning something like that?
And if I had— would—
No, but it would have at least spared—
Well, I would say I more than made it up to you, have I not? A whole underground workshop in the Fleuve Sandra, and the man responds—
All right, I won't argue with you.
Well, friends, I would say we've earned ourselves a nice meal for our efforts.
I'll have to take a rain check. Oh, by the way, Chiori, I ran into Vanger on the way here.
I don't need to hear it. I'm sure the old fool used—
You know him well.
Thanks again, Shelfra.
My pleasure. Oh, and one last thing. That was really quite an amazing show.
You don't say.
All right, all right. Follow me if you want in on the celebration feast.
Traveler, Paimon, could you go wait for me at that place with the view? I'll let no—
A place with a view?
Perfect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, we didn't wait long at all. But what—
Here, take this.
Oh, wow! A brooch! And in the style of Chioria Boutique, too! Wait, Paimon gets one as well?
I've only made 2 for now. After much consideration, I decided you've been a great help. There were even times when I felt like I had to fight back and win.
Well, we may have helped a little, but—
I know for certain that was not the case. I've chased my dream for so long that I've come to understand something. Apart from conviction and persistence, a single person can only do so much. Without all your help, Chioria Boutique could have easily fallen to ruin.
Well, Paimon doesn't think it would have ever gotten to that point.
Perhaps my words were a little pretentious, but they do reflect how I truly feel. I'm confident in the quality of my work.
Well, guess there's nothing to worry about then. Should we go back and join them at the victory feast?
Oh, yes, of course. You know, of all—
Take it easy.